Billie Eyelash has amassed a level of acclaim and superstardom that is unique for young artists and artists in general in the 21st century. She has racked in billions of streams before even becoming an adult, winning 7 Grammys including Best New Artist, Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and Album of the Year, all in one night, with her phenomenally successful, critically acclaimed When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? The album boosted Eilish into the stratosphere of superstardom, with the debut album reaching the #1 spot on the Billboard 200, then being named the #1 and best-selling album of the year, and her smash single Bad Guy being named the best-selling song in the world in 2019. Also being the first song to knock Lil Nas' historic Old Town Road off of its monumental 19-week run at the #1 spot. With her dark and gloomy sound and music that reflected on mental health and addiction, Billie Eilish was adored and loved by millions of Gen Zs for her authentic tomboy personality and peculiar style, consisting of her signature green hair and extremely oversized baggy clothes, and critics compared her style to 2000's alternative queen, Avril Lavigne, who Billie has stated to pull much influence from. Eilish has also been loved for her ethereal and whispery soprano voice that is unique and inspired by artists like Lana Del Rey. Eilish had achieved so much success before even graduating high school, and her debut album is a memorable moment in 2010's pop music as Billie Eilish became the world's biggest teen superstar. 2 years later, Billie Eilish released her sophomore album, Happier Than Ever. The album was a commercial success numbers-wise, with 3 of its pre-singles reaching the top 10 of the Hot 100 and the album selling 230,000 copies first week. But for Billie Eilish, it was a decrease in success, as the album sold 25% less than her debut album. The album failed to receive a certification from the RIAA and failed to garner a #1 hit, unlike the debut album, which is pretty unexpected due to the success of When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Billie Eilish also received much criticism during this time. First, Billie Eilish was accused of queerbaiting by fans and the general public for her video, Lost Cause, which featured her dancing around the house with a whole bunch of girls, then posting I love girls in her caption. This caused many people to dislike Billie and think of her as an attention seeker. Also in 2021 came the debut of Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia Rodrigo released her debut single, Driver's License, and took the world by storm, shattering records left and right while selling millions. Then released her debut album and continued to make history with Sour, and stacked up #1 hits and reached global superstardom, and became the #1 female artist of the year, and instantly became pop's new #1 teen superstar. Many people started to compare Billie and Olivia, saying things like Olivia dethroned Billie, and started to use the out with the old and in with the new process with the two stars. And many people started to pay less attention to Billie. Now, Billie is still a superstar and has millions and millions and millions of followers and fans, but this was just a significant change in Billie's career compared to her debut album. For instance, Britney Spears released her iconic debut album, Baby One More Time, in 1999 to enormous success, and the album was certified diamond, selling 14 million copies that year. Then a year later, Spears released Oops, I Did It Again, and the album went diamond again and sold 10 times as much as her debut album in the first week. Beyonce's iconic Dangerously in Love was released in 2003 and sold 300,000 copies in the first week. Then she released B-Day in 2006, and the album sold 500,000 in its first week, surpassing her debut and making her an even bigger superstar. My point is that Billie's sophomore album did not make her a bigger superstar like other artists with huge debut albums. Fast forward 2023, Billie Eilish is posting pictures on her Instagram that people have called disturbing, cringy, and weird, and I can honestly say that they're wrong. These pictures are just random and uncanny. She honestly looks a little worrying, and something about her just looks off. Then the position that she's in are just awkward and not in a good way. Like the one with her legs crooked in the air with her ankles broken, like just makes me uncomfortable. And some people are trying to defend it, but think about it. If you seen her doing that in her room with her legs that way, you would be worried and scared. I honestly believe she's doing all this for attention because there's no logical reason for her to be posting stuff like this. I think sometimes people get so caught up in someone being a celebrity that they forget that they're human and need to remember that they are not above being called out for stuff that just looks wrong and just worrying. And no one is trying to shame Billie Eilish or trying to rain on her parade for her feeling comfortable with her body. But odd is odd and cringy is cringy.